go. I'm finally back from the Galactic Federation Convention. In this episode, we're introducing yet another new segment, just in time for the holidays. It's called The Perfect Gift. Each episode, I'll give you a great gift idea for that someone special. I'd like to also welcome to the show this week's sponsor, the law offices of J. and Francis. Have you been injured by a big rig that blew its horn while you drank scalding hot coffee that you spilled on your lap, resulting in having to wash your pants to get that stain out, only to find out that you shrank those pants so much that you're having trouble breathing? Don't settle for just any quick settlement settlers. Settle your settlement with us. We settle settlements. Call today. So let's get this perfect gift segment started. Everybody's had enough to deal with this year, and finding the perfect gift should not be stressful. My first gift suggestion is the Broner's Rolling Pin. This rolling pin is not like any other rolling pin. It's the perfect kitchen mate. For starters, it rolls out dough like a champ. At 15 pounds, you'll be hard pressed to find any other rolling pin that flattens dough to this level of perfection. It also has a rechargeable battery and a USB port so you can charge your tablet or phone while rolling. I can see this being great for those folks who use their phone for rolling pin recipes. It also doubles as a Wi-Fi extender. If you're like me, you always have dead spots in your home where the Wi-Fi just won't reach. Well, not anymore. This thing brings the internet to you. You're always connected. With these three functions, I can't recommend the Broner's Rolling Pin enough. I'll put an affiliate link in the show notes. When you click on it, I get a percentage of sales from the sale. Also, this is not a paid advertisement. This is just an honest review from an honest consumer. Speaking of paid advertisements, have you been wrongly accused of a crime while vacationing in another city only to find out that you were never in that city, but in fact, you were in your own city, in your own house, in your own room, in your own closet after you slipped and hit your head on a shoe rack? Don't be another victim. Call the law offices of J. and Francis today. It's now time for my featured song I wrote. Sit back with a warm cup of keto, friendly tomato broth and enjoy. This song's called Gettin In Your Way.
Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. It's a long way to go. Don't let your way get all up in your way. You'll get away from your way and you won't know where to go. And then one day your way may go away. Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. It's a long way to go. Don't let your way get all up in your way. You'll get away from your way and you won't know where to go. And then one day your way may go away. Get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story. Don't get away from your story. You gotta tell Don't get away from your story.
Well, that does it for this week's episode of Tag Paid Go. I'd like to thank my sponsor, the law offices of J. and Francis. Have you suffered from stress related injuries due to anxiety over space alien news stories that your relatives have posted on their social media feed? Don't be another statistic. Call the law offices of JJJ and Francis today. I'd also like to thank all you guys for coming back. Thanks again for all the messages and the podcast shares. I'd also like to welcome my new international listeners. This thing is really taken off. Everyone stay safe, be kind to each other. Till next time, tag, paid, go.